Welcome to the episode of On Emergence. And today, in my makeshift studio, a borrowed studio in San Marcos, Guatemala, I have Tata Izaias, who is a spirit facilitator. And in that conversation that you're going to understand a little bit more about who he is and what he does. Right now, I want to welcome you and I want to thank you. Thank you, Tata, for making the time and the space for our conversation. I am, how excited and how curious I am about it. And it's really, really, really special. The journey that you have taken me and taken us as a group, or having taken through a cacao facilitator course that just ended. I'm still processing. And this is where I'm at. I'm just sharing, in a casual way, I'm sharing my gratitude in that. And really curious where this conversation is going to take us. And if you don't mind saying a prayer for cacao, because we have beautiful LavaLove Cacao in front of us.
Thank you for this opportunity to come to this place. And before everything exists, there's the spirit of all. And let's call the spirit of this day the spirit of all beings that take care of us on this space and around the world. Bring your cacao in front of your heart, and let's call the spirit for today. Nimalakush ka nimalakush chulefti ko lawash na kisan na nakah. Lakah lakah sak nimlakahao. Lakah it nskip na pnaka sa kawin sa kamets. Nimlak sak nimlakahao. Wuko iyak and skip na pnaka. Lakah te pero kung kumasa na makakulomish mo kanishpi ko kunakpush malamkir. Kung ba't kung joins may kanush kikini magkakulharis kulhachim kakulhawar hanggang kung nakansak. Balam kitse balam makabog kutak balam to hilang inis kawis magkutak. Kakapalunach may hats may hakakisaha. En maktakiwati dan yung maskiwas kimeto ko pinakak. Pero balam kitse balam makabog kutak balam to hilang inis kawis magkutak kakapalunach may hats may hakakisaha. En skip na pinakak. Katide ki umaskimus kimets, here wati dan umaskimus kimets. Kasi sige praktikal sa ibang kumarkas ako lang kiniwa pala yung kiwasya katong kinta na rood tagalika ba. Sige panaprakalo ko na kailo ko sa kong haw. Yung last day ka sorte ka sun may kas ingas may sa kanon sa war ko suiwas kogis. Yung nawa ko ni kunisipiru quechua, sige aymara, sige kiros. Sige ko lang kailo ko sa kong haw ko panaprakal. Skim lakin mas kung hawin ay katinango fo ko kung no sunil susang yati tlante kung buro may soldo no bagito kung pal de Monterrico. Sgira ka sigira to gira smante kung katika ko wal chukra ngal sip kung chakir sin sige pa na ka iskil ka wis kanin listo o kuya kung ko sa kainin lakin mas mong haw kay iglo ka chumil ko ka. Masis kung mas in mas mong haw masis sa kawis khamets lakin mas mong haw sige pa ria bastir. Kaban kliir, dus gier prasik in siplikam. Hola buscar waar dus het de Malteus ga. Malteus.
Yeah. Thank you for the prayer. Thank you for beautiful cacao.
You're welcome. Enjoy it.
So, Tata, I have made an introduction, and like I shared with you before we started recording, is that I'm not quite sure if the term shaman or shamanism really fits into what you do. And then I shared that it's almost like you're the facilitator of the spirit. That's the kind of the word Tata encapsulates perfectly into what you do. But to the people who are not familiar behind the meaning of the word, can you share a little bit about what does it mean to you? What does Tata mean to you?
The word Tata it means grandfather. Nana is a grandmother. So Tata, it is the title that we receive of respect for an elder. An elder, not nothing to do with age. It's a respect for what you channel, for what you practice. That's what a Tata is. A Tata is a ceremonialist. It's a ritualist. But also Tata is an older person. Doesn't matter if it's not a ritualist person, but if it's an older enough, it's called the Tata and Nana for respect of the time, of the age that it has. I am being called Tata. Some people call it abuelo, call me abuelo. Even though I'm not an abuelo, I'm not a grandfather. But it's not they're referring to me. They're referring that to the respect that they give it to me. So the word shaman, it's more like a Western term to understand that the person is the one that will speak with spirit of the nature, spirit of all beings. That's where its shamanism come from. But that's another language, which is, well, that's another term. But a shaman doesn't touch a cell phone, doesn't watch a TV, doesn't have a modern
Oh, really?
stuff.
I didn't know that.
That's what a shaman is, because a shaman has to be pure, connected with everything that is the sun, the clouds, the moon, the whole connection of everything. That is a shaman, because it's the one that who speaks with the spirit of all, like in the old ways. That's how the old people do. But now we watch TV, we touch electronic stuff, we have a watch, we have a cell phone, we use a computer, which is more modern, and we still consider ourselves as shaman. Well, that's how it's not going to work out. Because in the old time, you don't have a watch, you say like, oh, it's about 10 a.m. You calculate.
So you rely almost on your ability to read nature, that you don't need those external tools.
Yes.
That's okay.
There's a lot of shamans around.
Yes. Especially around that I've seen around San Marcos, the different spots.
Yeah. So that word it's being used in the modern world, which we call ourselves shamans, but we still do this and do that. I think we're misusing it, the term of shaman. That's in the Western world. For my community, I am called a Tata, which is grandfather, which is a person of wisdom, a person of knowledge, a person of advising, the person who practice the respect of the Mayan cosmology. So that's what is called a Tata, a Nana.
Okay.
And in relationship with that word, I am an achir, which means the day keeper, the one that who tracks the days, who tracks the time, who knows the meaning of the day of today, who knows the meaning of tomorrow, who knows what it happens in a few days or in a week. So that's what is an achir means. It means that it has communication with the thunderstorm, with the rain. It has an energy for everything. It has a use. So, yeah, it's a whole world of
of ceremonies.
of ceremonies of living life.
And those people who are watching this episode on YouTube, they might be able to see the sign that says ik, which, as I've learned during my course, is that it is the spirit of a hummingbird, spirit of the butterfly. And maybe you can share a little bit more about, as an example of one of the 20 Nawalim that guard each day of the Tzolk'in calendar.
Yes, today is wuku'iq, which is 7 wind, 7 hummingbirds. Number 7, it is the word for awakening, to wake up. Iq means the air, which it has lots of description and interpretation, which is the wind, the air, the breeze, the hummingbird, the cleaning, cleansing, healing, and chanting, singing, poetries, writing poetries, and expression, communication, wishes, imaginations. So it has many things. So for me, this is a beautiful day and a powerful day to wake up the use of your voice, the use of your communication, what you would like to desire, what you would like to communicate, what you would like to express. So this is the day to wake up your imagination, to wake up your tools, to wake up your feelings into chanting, into singing, into praying. This is the day to communicate with the spirit of nature, with the wind, to send this prayer, to send this song to the beautiful spirit of Mother Nature. So that's what is today. So today is the day of waking up your innocence.
We've picked a really beautiful day to have this conversation. I'm really glad.
Of course. We didn't pick it. It happened. It was meant to be.
I think it picked us. I think it picked us. But Tata, you mentioned the word ceremony. And I know how special that word and the meaning behind it is to you. And that also communicates with the vision and the dream that you have for LavaLove. And the vision and the dream that you have behind the journey of cacao. And if you want, I would love for you to share with our listeners and with our viewers a little bit more about that. Because in my experience, as someone who lives in Western Europe, I noticed the kind of the increasing presence of cacao. There are cacao ceremonies, there are cacao circles. I mean, one of those ceremonies, one of those conversations led me here to Guatemala to take the course and learn more about cacao as a medicine, cacao as a heart opener, cacao as a chemical element that triggers certain chemical reactions in your body that makes you more perceptive and more introspective to certain processes that are going on, and maybe a little bit more open to process certain aspects of your life that may be otherwise difficult. I would love for you to share that journey a little bit with our listeners.
Sure, I can do that. Life is a ceremony because everything, it's sacred. We are on a sacred moment right now. It is a sacred moment that we have the rain. It's a sacred moment, that's why we have the incense burning. A sacred moment is because the way how we are dressing. The sacred moment is when we eat something, the best food that we can have. The ceremony is when we're making the fire, when we're talking to each other, when we're hugging, when we're communicating, when we're laughing. It's a ceremony, it's a sacred way of living life, as long as you are aware of it, conscious about it. Then you live a life with purpose. But what if you live without purpose? Then for whom you're living? Then you're not living your life. You're living someone else's life because you're not aware of it. For me, life is a ceremony because this is how we should be living life. naturally. Because when we forget about that, we forget about ourselves. Because then we become something that is not us. We're trying to become someone else, and we forget about ourselves. And we forget about our practice, our beliefs, our desires, our wishes. Then we begin to live someone else's life, which is not our life.
To me, it's living life is purpose, and living life as a ceremony. It's also an invitation to be present, to be really, really present at any action that you take, at any conversation that you have, to be really conscious and aware. It's an invitation that this is what's happening right now. There's nothing outside right now that's happening. Right now is everything that is exists in my universe, in your universe, in my awareness, in your awareness. This is our ceremony.
Yes, we're doing the best way how to talk about this topic, because this is the only time we have. The ceremony. A minute ago, we cannot recover it. In an hour, we don't know what will going to happen, but the only present moment we have is now. So we must use the best what we have. We must eat the best what we have. We must have a good conversation, the best what we have, because this is the best what we have. And you're doing the best way how to listen to this video, because this is the best what you have. This is the best way it exists. There's no other ways how to live life. So I invite you, not wait until Christmas, not wait until New Year to begin something in your life. This is the time to do it. Use your clothes, your best clothes as you can. For today, tomorrow you may die. We may die in a minute. We may die tomorrow. This is the best we have. So let's give a hug the best way that we know how to give a best hug. Let's sing together the best way we have to. That's all the best we have. So I call that life is a ceremony, because everything that is special, I'm not giving it to you. I am giving to the Creator. So dress yourself the best way that you know how to dress up yourself. Sing the best way how you know how to sing, because God is singing, want to sing through you. You don't have to prepare for a ceremony. You're already in the ceremony when you know how to live that way, when you're aware of it.
It's sinking in. Okay, let's start with a different question. And it's a question that I ask people when I'm interviewing them. Is when someone says human, what does it mean?
A human, it is a child of corn, of beans, and chili. That's
delicious.
And salt, of course. That's how we would phrase it out in Mayan language. Because I am a human, I have all the taste. I can get angry. I can be sad. I can be so happy. I can be celebrating. I am a human. Because I am a human, I am not afraid to make mistakes. I am a human. I don't know how to live life any other way. I'm being a human. But that doesn't mean hurting other people. That's not human. Human is being your natural way. If it's sadness, welcome it. If it's pain, welcome it. This is life. Life begins with beautiful things or hard things that can end up in a beautiful way, or we can end up in a hard way. We're human. This is human life.
I have a question to you, and I'm so excited about your answer. But there's something that you said that really kind of sparked my curiosity. Is when you mentioned sadness, when you mentioned certain difficult emotions, and is there a way that you can see treating them as a ceremony?
There's no way to treating in it. There's no way to treat it. When you treat it, you are escaping it. There's no way to escape it. You would welcome it. You would honor it. Then you give life to it. When you give life to it, it's because you honor it. You respect this process, this important emotion. Because if you try to ignore it or try to escape it, it's going to be there. It's something that you cannot treat. It's something that you can escape, but it's not going to go away. It's there. So my invitation is, when there's sadness, when there's anger, when there's depression, all these things, it's humanable, because it's human feelings. So when there are this kind of things, I invite you to go deeper in it. When you go deeper, you are right in the bottom. For you to find your light, for you to find your trust, for you to find your strength, and learn something from it. Thank it, then you're going to rise up. If you battle it, you're not going to get somewhere. And it means you're not learning. So be humble when you are in this process. Go down, go deeper in it. When I am into these things, especially in depression, or somehow I needed to be in my own, I'd rather be in my own and really feel it, honor it, and welcome it, and respect the process. Then you're up again. It is like sleeping. When you're not sleeping, you try to sleep and wake up, try to sleep and wake up, try to sleep and wake up. You're not resting yet. You're not dying it. You're not solving it. You're not living your life. Rest, and then you recover. Because otherwise you never recover. For me, this is how it works. Of course,
Cacao help.
with cacao.
What? Can you share a little bit more about the journey with cacao and I guess your own personal journey and your views on how currently cacao is kind of coming out of the forest, the legend of cacao that you taught and you shared? I would love our listeners to know and hear that from you.
Yes. The tree of cacao has walked out of the forest to bring back balance and harmony that humankind are lost in relationship with Mother Nature. When humanity begins to misappropriate, maluse the resources of Mother Nature, then she would stand or step out from the forest to remember people, to bring back harmony and balance, because we have lost, then we would have lost harmony in between of us. To remember our dreams, to remember our way of being, our ceremonial way of being, our practice, our respect to the Mother Nature. Then, when we remember that, we can come back to our own harmony. When we are in harmony, then we're not hurting other things. Then we're respecting the use of it. We're respecting the value of it. that we're respecting people, respecting trees and animals, resources of Mother Nature. But the harmony, how we have to create inside. And Spirit of Ish Cacao, it's gathering people around the world and being here now, among us, to be around us, to come and dance and remember the dance, to remember the harmony, to remember the laugh, to remember our creative powers and gifts, so we can share and help humanity to be happy, healthy, in ceremony again, which this is exactly what we teach here. So, to be respected, it's a her, it's our mother Ish Cacao.
I love the way that you expressed it so beautifully. A ceremonial way of being. I think it encapsulates what you taught during the course and your vision behind LavaLove. What I'm hearing behind it is an invitation to be present, an invitation to be in ceremony. And the more I speak to you right now, the more I understand. I'm really honored to have this conversation right now, because I feel like this is an extra to the course that we just finished. It's kind of like a bonus that now fills up the gaps that I felt I had. It's like when you were telling me to dress myself for the ceremony, I didn't understand it at the time. And now hearing you speak about it more, it kind of sinks it more and more and deeper. I have another question. What role ceremony plays in the process of becoming a better human? In what way the ceremony and working with the spirit, working with the ceremony and inviting the spirit into the ceremony bring you into this process of growth and emergence? How does ceremony make you a better human?
You gotta do a lot of ceremony to leave all these flies you have been carrying and bringing with you. All these flies have been there. Maybe it's not flies, but it's the other words for this dust that you bring with you. So the more ceremony you do, you undust yourself. You undust yourself. You undust yourself until you get to understand living life, respecting life, how to respect the 4 directions, respect that we have our Creator, to respect their role, to respect your role, to respect the direction roles. We are the one who are managing our life. When we don't respect the principle, there are 4 directions or 6 directions.
The Father Sky and the Mother.
The Father Sky and the Mother Earth. If you respect their directions, then you are a human. Then you are a spiritual human, because you respect that there's a Creator. Because that you respect that all that Creator is in you. That all that direction, it is in there, in the altar of sacredness. Then all that creation, it is in the water, it is in the wind, it is in the fire, it is in the ceremony. So when you respect that, it's because you are a child of God, child of the Creator. Because you respect that there's an order.
An order?
There's an order, yes. There's an order. When you forget about that order, when you ignore that order, it's because you forgot about yourself. You forgot about the Creator. You forgot about your purpose in life. What is your purpose being a human? What did you came here to do? Just to be a human. You didn't come here to just to wander around and just do whatever you want to do. No. What are you feeling to do? And respect that. When you forget about that, you're just becoming anything. You're becoming a broom. You're becoming just anybody.
When you forget, what do you do? I guess it can be quite easy to forget, or rather, it can be quite hard to remember when you're not surrounded by the beauty of that I'm experiencing right now, surrounded by color, being in this lush jungle in Guatemala. But what about people who are surrounded by the great buildings, by the day-to-day life? How do they remember?
Great. Great example. Great questions. When you're living in the city, it's because you forgot about your roots. Go back to your roots. Some elder says, when you forgot about yourself, that's easy to become a criminal. Because you want everything fast. You want everything it's reachable. And we forgot about that order. Yeah, because you forgot about the respect of each things. Even the simple things, it has an order, it has a life. When you forgot about that, go and look at the originarian people, the native people, those who speak the language of the nature, the native language, because those are the ones who have connection with Mother Nature, with Mother Earth. I'm not inviting you to come to Guatemala, but I'm inviting you to come to Mexico, to Peru, to Brazil, to Guatemala, to places where people who are in touch with Mother Nature, those who protect their culture, protect their nature, protect the water. Those are the ones who are the wisdom keepers. Go and ask, what is your purpose and what did you came here to do with? Because if you look yourself into a city, you're not going to find it. So go and find in those villages. Go back to the nature. Go back and cultivate the nature. Because the nature, that's where you find the school of life. That's where you learn about the patience, cultivating, cleaning, maintaining. Because your life is a tree. Don't forget about that. You're a nature. And you as a nature human, tree human, a human tree, you forgot about because the shame and the embarrassment has placed in you. And you believe it and you welcomed it. And you are becoming that. You are a tree, but trying to shape and be on the perfect way. You're a tree. The tree is not trimmed. The tree is imperfectly perfect. So go and seed the corn. Go and seed the beans. Be patient and harvest it. Go and connect. Put your hands into the mud. Connect back with the nature and find your purpose. I understand when you feel disconnected, when you feel dislocated, when you feel lost, because you're disconnected from Mother Nature. So you got to take your shoes off and walk into the Mother Nature. No, don't walk on cement. Walk on the nature. Put your feet into the water. Take some tobacco. Connect yourself with the spirit. I understand when you're disconnected because you live in the 4 or 5 flats. Because you're disconnected from Mother Nature. Go and look at the nature. Go and connect with the native people. Ask them a prayer. Ask them a blessing. Ask them a cleansing. as a ceremony. Go with them. Let them to remember who you are according to their cosmovision. So that's how we can connect back with ourselves. Don't forget about yourself.
I consider myself incredibly fortunate that I can travel and I can experience your culture and I can experience more cultures like yours, those that is connected to nature, that I have a chance to. Is there a way for people who don't have that chance either to be living close to, let's say people who are living in Mexico or people who live in South America or even in North America, there are plenty of tribes there, but I live in the Netherlands, which is one of the most densely populated countries in the planet. And there are people who cannot afford to travel. I lived in the UK for some time, and there are people who with in poverty, and they cannot afford to travel. And I feel that the advice that you're giving is actually quite simple. It's to take off your shoes and stand on the ground.
That's why we prepare people from different nations, different countries and places, countries. So we go and take and share our medicine there, share our knowledge from here to there. You're going to Holland, they go to the US, they go to Peru to share this, to remember that's why we have this school. To remember people to become who they are. Because I cannot go and travel all the way around, even them I'm still doing. But I can't do it all the countries, and they can go to all the places. That's why you come here. I didn't plan it. You didn't plan it. He or she planned it. He planned it. And she planned it. So that's why this is happening. It's for you to remember people about their seed in the heart, about their sun, the light in the heart. So they don't forget about it. That's why you come here. That's why I'm here. That's why I speak English. There's a purpose about it. I didn't choose it. I didn't plan it. It was given to me as a tool. It's working very well. So that's why you are here. To remember people. To take all this knowledge and take it back to people. And the best way how you know how to do it. But for those who can't afford, go to South America, North America, Central America, whatever that they're called to. But for those that they can't, go to your ceremony. As we say in my language, the ceremony will be in front of their noses. It'll be very close to them.
So go and look for people who are a little bit closer to those cultures than they are.
Yes.
And people ask questions about cultural appropriation, and the prospect that you have, it's very different from the kind of the narrative that's being shared. It's great where people take the culture of the native culture and share it. It's like they take the seeds of this earth, of this soil, and they plant it. So the trees can grow there where they take it.
Yes. And are you asking about cultural appropriation?
I think people are worried about that. I think there's a certain worry of Westerners taking a tradition, muddling it with something else, and taking it home and calling it the native. You know, I'm a shaman. I'm being trained by a shaman, by a Native American shaman. Now I'm a shaman, and then there is a resistance of that. The way that I see it is actually, yes, maybe someone did take a training from a shaman. Maybe someone did translate it in their own way. But if that experience in your local country invites the curiosity around the culture, then that training served its purpose. If you went to a ceremony held by someone with a lighter skin color and blue eyes, and it makes you curious about what it really is. Maybe it makes you angry. Maybe people start thinking about cultural appropriation. But if it makes you curious about the culture, then it succeeded.
Yes. Let me put it this way. I don't have a school for shamanism. I don't train shamans. I train facilitator for cacao within the Mayan cosmology. So the cultural appropriation, who appropriates the culture? You're giving life to it, my culture. I train people who are responsible of this sharing, of this powerful medicine that is helping people. I am not making them shamans. I am making them facilitators, or call them ritualists, if you don't call them ceremonialists. You are sick. Your Western culture is sick. Looking for a medicine and wanting to heal themselves, and you wanting to help people who are sick. And I have a pill. I have some meds called cacao. Can't I give you? Can't I give you this medicine that I have? I know how it's good for you. I am teaching how it's important for you and to serve it this way. So you can give it to this way. Of course, to serve from that cup, you gotta prepare yourself. You gotta use your agua florida to cleanse yourself, to clean off that energy and give it to people this way, in the sacred way. So that's the medicine. But if you're saying, oh, this is my culture, it's not your culture, it's the Mayan culture. You went to learn from the Mayan culture in front of the sacred fire with respect. You're being asked, are you going to serve it with respect? Or are you going to embarrass my culture? And you said no. And this is how you are being prepared. And this is how special and sacred is this medicine. So you can honor it for those people who are in needs. Not serve it naked. And you still call it yourself a shaman. I don't prepare people like this. I prepare people from these guidance, these grandparents. That's how you prepare people. For the good, for healing of the world. Because you are sick, because you are in need, I am preparing you this way, so you can have a medicine to help the world. Forget about cultural appropriation. You are in need. It's an emergence. It's an emergency to have something that I can give you to heal yourself, to bring peace for your heart. That's my answer to it.
Thank you for sharing your... No, it's not sharing. Thank you for trusting. Thank you for trusting that people that you teach were not in the way that they're being taught, and they interpret it in their own way. But thank you for trusting anyway. And thank you for doing it anyway. I know that here you host ceremonies twice a week, and you host them no matter what. And you host them no matter who comes. You don't know how many people will show up. What are they going to wear? What are they going to bring to the ceremony? Are they going to respect it? You share it anyway. and it's not even about sharing, you trust anyway. I think there comes another layer behind sharing, and that is trusting, because you trust someone to look after something that is so deeply dear to you. And that is scary. When I did my training, I didn't know what I was signing up for. I think that's a phrase that a lot of us have repeated. And now it started dawning on me of just how much responsibility that is. And I really hope not to disappoint, not even you, and disappoint this, not to disappoint the 6 directions, not to embarrass what was given, not to embarrass the life that was given to me.
It is in your hand anyway. It's given to you. So you can protect it and give flowers to it and do ceremonies for it. If you're going to fail, you're failing it yourself. And that will help you to pick you up.
The ceremony and feeding the fire.
That will pick you up. That will be your medicine. So, I'm not worried about that. Those people who come into the ceremony here, they're like children. I can tell them to do not do this and they can do something different. And that's okay. They're guests. I'm doing the ceremony for people who love it. And for people who don't love it, they don't come here. And that's fine. Because I'm not doing the ceremony for people anyway. I'm doing it for the Creator. This is a commitment I've made with myself. I made it with people. I made it with this altar. I made for myself. You don't know how sacred is this space for me. There's people or not people, even I am here or not, I'm not here. There's always the altar. It's already beautiful. And for me, this is my life. If there are people, that's great. If there's not, I want this altar to have the candle, to have the flowers, to have the offerings there. It's my wife. Cannot undress it. And I want to be taken care of. And if my commitments to the ceremony every Friday and Mondays, I'll do it. Not for people, but also for people. But if there's no people, I'll do the ceremony anyway. It's my medicine. That's why I'm alive. Until there's a demand that I can't do it, then I can't do it. I don't do it. I don't force myself doing it. There's a demand. But while everything is great, I'll do it.
People are looking for answers. And they come here at this place in San Marcos at LavaLove. And I think it's very important to share as our conversation is, I don't think it's ever going to end. Our conversation is never going to end. It's just, it's the way I see it is that our conversation has been happening. And on, I think, as the 9th of September was the first day is that I tuned into the conversation, but it's been going on the entire time. But for the purposes of this conversation that our listeners and our viewers are tuning in, I'd love to, it's something that I'm going to leave, of course, in the show notes of how they can find out more about the work that you do with LavaLove Cacao. But if you want to share any specifics on that, please, I invite you to do that.
I invite you to know yourself. When I'm saying it to Laura, I'm saying it to you too. To find more about yourself, to discover yourself, discover your light, discover your purpose. Because we all come here with a purpose. We all come here with the seed, with a star, and we tend to forget about ourselves. And remember that we come here to bring answers, solution, doing, sharing our medicine. The medicine that you mostly love to do, that's your medicine. You come here to bring answers and not troublemaker. You come here not for hurting people, not to injure people, but you come here to help people to make this planet a better place to live for our children, so we can all create one family again. To live your life. Don't try it, living your life. Live your life. There's no right, there's no wrong way, because there's no manual for it. Live your life the best way that you know how to live your life. The best way of expressing, dressing, eating, living, in all the possible ways. How to live life. Live it consciously. So, I send a lot of love from this place, and a lot of love.
Love.
Love, love.
Thank you for your time, for your effort, and for your trust for me to carry that message, carry the medicine.
It's not an effort. It's not my trust. It is the trust of the Creator. If it opened you the gate to be here, it's because it's will. It's because it's will. It let you to be here. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. It doesn't matter what the facts are. Because if you're here, it means because you've chosen to be here. Not because you chose it. There's a spirit of your life. There's a spirit of this conversation. And it's leading us this way. So thank you for your spirit. And thank you to this lovely time.
Lovely time.
Merci beaucoup.
Спасибо.
Malkiaj.
I really hope you enjoyed this conversation just as much as I did at the time of recording it. If you have any questions specifically to Tata Izaias, you can get in touch with him on LavaLove Cacao on Instagram or through their website. You can also leave your comments and thoughts and feelings in the comment section below to this episode. I also invite you to visit Guatemala if you have a chance. If you have a chance to stay in that country with the people that are so deeply connected to nature, please do so. And if you're there, I strongly encourage you to visit LavaLove Cacao. They also provide trainings, cacao facilitated training, that teaches you about cacao as a medicine and Mayan cosmology. Personally, I can attest that it has shifted something so profoundly in me that the person who came to Guatemala is not the same person who left. I hope you enjoyed this episode of On Emergence. If this episode resonated with you, please forward it and share it to the loved ones who may benefit from the messages contained in this conversation. And I also cordially invite you to subscribe to the podcast on YouTube, on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, whichever platform resonates with you the most, because we're going to have more of such heartwarming human conversation in the time to come. As always, I'm Laura, your host and a fellow human being.